She left the States to live in Osaka for less than $500 a month. $483 a month to be exact when it comes to renting her flat. That is today's story. A lot of people think it's expensive. I'm here to tell you it's not as expensive as you may think in Japan. There's this notion that Japan is extremely expensive, right? I'm here to tell you that may not be the case. I have a famous website that I tell people about. You know, certain YouTubers, they may charge a consultation for this. They may want you to pay for this information. I'm here to give it to you for free, $99, because I love y'all. And by the way, this is not a sponsorship. This is not a deal. This is not affiliate marketing. This is none of that. This is just a good website that someone put me on. I heard about, around the pandemic time, 2020, 2021. And it is extremely helpful. So we are going to play a video here. We're going to react to this video, of course. Before we react to this video, though, I want to show you this website. It's called Numbeo. So you go to www, and then you see it how it is on the screen. Boom, click it, Numbeo, right? And then it has information on many different places around the world. So the websites that I constantly use when it comes to traveling, I look at Airbnb prices. I look at Numbeo. I use Google, right? I use ChatGPT now, obviously. I use the good old YouTube, just like you're watching me on YouTube, and I see what's going on. So first, we're going to go over the dollar amount. I'm going to give you some stats, and then we're going to move on. Now, one of the tools they have here is, yes, you can look at the cost of living, but they also have something called cost of living comparison. For those of you who've been watching me, you know I live in the beautiful city of Las Vegas, Nevada. So I typed in my city on the cost comparison, Las Vegas, Nevada, and I typed in Osaka, Japan, just to get a comparison, and you won't believe what I found. I, at one point, was like a lot of people who are going to watch this video and say, Japan is expensive. Let's just get straight to it. I asked Google, Gemini, of course, shout out to Google. I tell everybody to invest into their stock. I said, can you live in Osaka for less than $1,300 a month? And they said, yes, it's possible to live in Osaka for less than $1,300 USD a month, but it will require careful budgeting and a modest lifestyle. Many sources indicate that a single person can live on approximately 140,000 to 200,000 Japanese yen, which is roughly $900 to $1,300 USD per month, depending heavily on location and lifestyle choices. Now, you may be in a small apartment, but it's an apartment nonetheless. We're going to go back to this here briefly, but I want to show you a clip from here.
When I landed in Tokyo for the first time, something...
By the way, I want to give the disclaimer that this lady, because I watched this, she's actually from California, right? So it's interesting to see someone who went from that price point to this particular price point.
About it felt right. What surprised me the most about the...
Look at those prices, right? It's not...
What surprised me the most...
Come on. You can do the conversion and see that's only a few dollars, right? But I will say this, as someone who's been to Japan 3 or 4 times, typically the food was one of the more higher price items for me. Even in Tokyo, you can rent a studio and or 1-bedroom apartment for less than 800 USD a month. And that's the big city of Tokyo. Now, once you start going to Nagoya, Osaka, Kobe, etc., obviously it's going to be cheaper. This particular lady is in the beautiful city of Osaka.
Most about the cost of living in Japan is being able to afford everything on my own.
What's a Japanese 7-Eleven without a giant variety of cup ramen? That's like 80 cents.
I mean...
Or you could do what they call the broke, college person route. Just get a whole bunch of ramen. That's no disrespect to her, but I'm just saying some people, they're like, hey, it's cleaner than the American ramen, less chemicals.
I'm living alone. Like, I've never been able to live alone. That was my dream. Welcome to my Japanese apartment.
So what you're going to see with a lot of these apartments, and this is how it was when I was in Japan as far as my latest stay. I think that was like last January. But my latest stay, you'll notice that a lot of it will be together. So even when I was in Korea, it kind of looked like this, where like you have like a small miniature hallway, maybe it's like 2 feet, and then it goes directly into the main room. And sometimes the bedroom, kitchen, bathroom, all that is the same basic studio setup. But that's how you get the cheaper ones that are only a couple hundred, are affordable. I was told I gotta stop saying cheaper. I meant to say affordable.
There's a lot of space out here. I just don't really know what to do with it. It's too hot to go outside.
Yeah.
I'm Ashley Peters.
See, she had the she had the fan there because a lot of people don't know Japan actually gets very hot.
Currently, I live in Kanagawa. My city is Nakahara. From Shibuya, it's about a 15-minute train ride.
15 minutes. 15 minutes. Oh, and I made a mistake. I'm so sorry. I just realized she's actually in Tokyo. I thought she was in Osaka. I'm tripping. So the fact that she can do this, I'm tripping. I don't know where I got Osaka from, but the fact that she can do this in Tokyo lets you know when you go to Osaka, you really gonna be living. Because 483 near the big city, come on, stop it. By the way, I'm gonna go back to this real quick. Show you guys this tool, cost comparison Las Vegas to Osaka. Matter of fact, we can even, if y'all want to, we can just to give y'all because even Tokyo, it's going to ask you to sign in. You don't have to. Close that out. Still significantly cheaper. Cost of living it still has Osaka pulled up. What's going on? There we go. Cost of living in Tokyo is 19.8% lower than Las Vegas. So here on this website, it actually breaks it down into different categories. I use this for everywhere, no matter where you're going, Russia, Italy, whatever. Meal at an inexpensive restaurant, it will give you the local currency and then your currency that you typed in. So because Las Vegas is in the US, obviously it's going to give us USD. So it says the average meal in an inexpensive restaurant in Vegas is 23. Tokyo, we got 7.66, less than $8. You know, it goes down to bottled water. That's how specific it is. You like, yo, I'm walking, I'm traveling. It's hot outside because we just said your favorite YouTuber just told you that Japan gets hot because you didn't know that before you listened to me. You're like, I want a bottle of water. Boom. Bottle of water right there. Fresh white bread, eggs, local cheese, chicken filet, bananas, oranges. It gives all the different items. And then it's going to break it down into like transportation, gym, etc. Because for people who don't know, the gym is typically going to be one of the more bigger costs in a lot of countries, especially if it's like a non-American, non-Canadian, non-Australian, non-European place, because in a lot of parts of the world, gym is more considered like a luxury and or entertainment item, where in the United States, it's just like you got, for example, Planet Fitness or what's the other one? 24 Fitness. You got 500 people in there or whatever at a time. But yeah, so it has the utilities here, sports and leisure, monthly fitness, just like I told y'all. And what did I tell y'all? It's going to be typically more expensive outside of the States. So their gyms, that's the part's going to be more expensive, right? $66 compared to our, Planet Fitness is like $21 out here in Vegas. And it shows you 25, 45, childcare, clothing, and shoes. So make sure when you go to the website, you might want to bookmark it. For all my fellow travelers, bookmark this website, refer to it on a frequent basis. But here we are, outside the city center, 661, 1385. So when it gives us the price and it says it's all 29% cheaper, it's saying city center apartments. But if you're willing to go outside the city center, like where this lady's at, or even further, you can get it cheaper. You see how it is, like half the price here. Goes by salaries as well, the average Japanese salary compared to the average Vegas salary. But let's go back to this video.
So it's really close to the center of Tokyo. I grew up in Irvine, California, in Southern California. Until high school, I never really had interest in travel at all, actually.
I'm telling y'all, you gotta go overseas. You gotta go overseas and live this lifestyle. See, her apartment is not even that bad. Like, yes, it's a little bit smaller, but that's typical when it comes to South Korea and Japan. I notice over there, their apartments are a little bit smaller. It just is what it is. But why would you not pay $483 a month for this? $483 a month for this? Just look at this for a second. Just look at this. I just want you to look at this. Let me make it a big screen for you. My bad. Hold on. Let me make it big screen for you. Look at that. $483 a month. And you can see that it's not like it's maybe 7 feet, you know. It's enough for you to stretch, feel comfortable, etc. You don't need a super large apartment, all that. It's good enough, especially if you don't have children, right? They got these sliding doors over here too. I noticed this in Asia. I seen it in Malaysia, Thailand, seen it in South Korea, Japan. The sliding doors is like a very common thing.
Usually these rooms are used for tea ceremonies, but I wanted to feel like...
By the way, a lot of the beds are going to be on the floor. That's like a thing out there because that's happened to me as well when I was living in Korea. But one thing that's cool that I miss about Korea, and I think Japan has it as well, you know, here in America, when it gets cold, the heat comes from the top. Over there, it comes from the bottom. So you can take your shoes and socks off and walk around barefooted on a heated floor. And I'm here to tell you that is the best feeling in the wintertime. Like you step on that heated floor, you're like, yes.
I was living the Japanese anime life, so I put my bed in here. For electricity, it depends on the season. In the winter, I was paying like 1,500 yen.
$10. $10. $10 for electricity? That's less than a drink at the club for all you people who go out every weekend. Think about this. You stop going out for a little while, right? You stop spending money on silly things, on alcohol, on clubs, on bars, on trying to impress people. Just do that for 6 months. And that money right there will allow you to live comfortable in Japan for a month or two. And then once you experience it, you're like, oh, I want to keep this. And it's going to motivate you to keep going. And now you want to stay in Japan. Now you want to do this and that. Now you watching my channel on a frequent basis.
But now it's closer to 5,000 yen. For gas, I pay 1,200.
$8 a month for gas. Think about $8. $8. This book costs more than $8. I think it was like $14. $8 for gas. That's like taxes when you go out to eat food or something at a restaurant. It's like pennies. And you're paying your entire month worth of gas. If this don't make you want to explore other options outside of the States, outside of Canada, I know I got a lot of people watch me from Italy and the UK. I don't know what will. This is Japan, by the way. Imagine if you're somewhere else, Malaysia or something. But Japan, $8. I'll tell you, it's cheaper than you think.
Yen a month. For Wi-Fi, I pay around 5,910 yen a month.
38, baby.
Sushi.
And that, you know, and that's the one thing that I regret when I was in Japan. I don't know why I didn't think about it, but I never ate any sushi. I'm like, wait a second, this is where sushi started, and I'm like, I don't know what I was thinking.
In California, I budget tracked like crazy.
If you're willing to eat sushi, it's going to be obviously a lot better over there as far as price, and I imagine it's quality as well. I can only imagine. But as far as meals, when I went to restaurants there, that's kind of when I felt it a little bit more because I was spending like 17, 20, 25, 30. And I couldn't, it was harder for me to find those higher quality restaurants as far as taste level, not price wise, but taste level. But I've been told if you leave the big city of Tokyo and go to some of the smaller cities, that's really where it's at.
I literally wrote down every single expense. I would limit how often I eat out. Sometimes I didn't like I'm not gonna say, I just like don't eat because I didn't want to pay. But here.
Sound like she's about to say she did the dining dash. She says, I don't eat because I didn't want to pay. It sound like she's about to admit to be like, sometimes I didn't pay, I just left.
If I'm hungry, like I just eat.
It's dope though. I'm glad she's experienced that, and at a young age too. This is gonna shape her life forever. She's gonna forever remember this, and she's gonna become a better person. Not to say she's not already a good person, but when you start traveling, you learn about different cultures. You see how you're viewed in the world and how other people view you, and how the world truly is. So she's doing this at a young, impressionable age. I believe the lady said she's fresh out of college, or she's about to go to college. No, she said she graduated college, right? So I imagine she's like 21. So it's good that she's doing this, right? You can do this at any age, but I'm gonna be straightforward with you. The younger, the better, right? Obviously, don't do it when you're underage with no supervision and stuff. But she got the right mindset, and you see, she's back on them ramen.
Okay, here's everything that we got from 7-Eleven. So first things first, onigiri, protein shake, chocolate, bread.
You're gonna see a lot of flavors when you go over there you don't see back in your home country. But yeah, I just want to make this quick video. I don't want to drag it out too long. I just want to show the cost of living, all that type of stuff. Once again, the website is called Nabayo.com. You can go ahead and save it on there, do what you got to do. But I'm here to tell you, when a lot of these travel people talk about these other countries, they don't mention that Japan, you can live there for the same price, about, keyword about, as like somewhere like Thailand. Because Thailand, you probably need like $1,100, $1,200 a month, etc. I just showed you $1,300 could do it in Japan, right? The only thing is, they do want, if you're going to stay long term, I believe you need either a student visa, a work visa, or they announced about a year or two ago digital nomad visa. So let's look it up real quick. Yeah, 2024. I told you. And so to qualify, it looks like you need to make about just under 70,000. So just under a 70 piece, and you'll be in the game. Get the little visa, and then you can stay 1 to 2 years, I believe it is. You can keep refreshing it. Japan is gonna be more open, because Japan for a very long time, and shout out to my relatives who are in Japan. Japan for a long time was notorious for their paperwork, as far as like allowing people to stay long term, etc. Mark my words, Japan, it may not happen this year, but in general, I promise you Japan is going to be more open. They're going to be forced to be. Because right now, for those who don't know, Japan and South Korea is having a population crisis. They need more people over there. And this is why certain groups, I'll just say it. So they made things a little bit easier for people in India to come over there on working visas, short term. But I guarantee you in the long term, they're going to open it up to other people and other groups, because if they don't, they're in trouble. They're right. They already have cities where the population is almost not existent. In the next 30 years, they are going to be in trouble. And they are paying people to have babies like locals, but it's still not working. So they're going to open up a lot more. But I just want to make this quick little video, and I hope you have an amazing night, all that stuff.